Hello friends, my name is Raju. I am working as a lecturer in Government Polytechnic for Women, Warangal. I belongs to EC department. In this lecture, we are discussing about different topics. In this, the topics are IC, that means integrated circuit. What is the definition of IC? What is the definition of IC? What is the use of IC? Next, we discuss about differences between discrete and integrated circuits. Next, we are discussing about advantages, disadvantages of ICs, linear and digital ICs. What is mean by linear IC and digital IC? What are the advantages and disadvantages? And also we see different IC packages and levels of integration. Lastly, we discuss about surface mount technology. So in this, first topic is IC. So what is mean by IC? IC means, the abbreviation of IC is integrated circuit. IC means integrated circuit. IC, integrated circuit. An IC, what is mean by IC? An IC is a complete electronic circuit in which both the active and passive components are fabricated on an extremely thin single chip of silicon. For IC, integrated circuit, for an IC manufacturing, we use silicon wafer. In silicon wafer, upon silicon wafer, we fabricate all the components, active components and passive components. Here active components means transistor, FETs, diodes, like these are called active components. Passive components means resistors, inductors, capacitors. These all components are fabricated on single layer, that is silicon layer. If you fabricate all components on single layer, then it is called IC, integrated circuit. So here IC means integrated circuit. All the components are integrated on a single layer. That is called an IC, integrated circuit. In this process, for the fabrication of IC, there is a different process is there. Using the process, we fabricated the IC. In modern electronics, the ICs are very, very important in any device. Like we take any cell phone or any computer or any device, any electronic gadget we take. In that, the IC is present. So that's why it's very, very important device, very important component for electronic components. So this is the definition of an IC. Next, so what is the differences between discrete and integrated circuit? So that means, if you take a PCB like printed circuit board, there is a discrete components there. If you take a breadboard, we put the different components like resistors, inductors, transistors, capacitors. These are all together we put on a breadboard and connect with wires. If you any circuit design on breadboard, it's working, then it is replaced by PCB, printed circuit board. In printed circuit board, already there is a holes is there, so and there is a already interconnection is there, then we put the components and soldering the devices. In that way we put the components on the printed circuit boards. So what is the difference between discrete and integrated circuits? Here the circuit fabricated by joining components by wires or plotted conductors on printed circuit board is known as discrete circuit. So in discrete circuit we take the PCB and different components joined with wires, different components joined with wires like resistors, inductors, capacitors, resistors, inductors, capacitors. Next, in complete electronic circuit in which both active and passive components are fabricated on extremely tiny single chip of silicon is known as integrated circuit. But in integrated circuit, so all electronic components are fabricated on single silicon chip, Next difference is components are for discrete integrated circuit, components are interconnected by wires or tracks of PCBs. If you take breadboard, the interconnection between the components for the interconnection between the components we use the wires, but in PCBs there is a tracks, so that with tracks we connect the different components. But in ICs components are interconnected by an aluminum layer, but in ICs components are connected by aluminum layer. So in integrated circuit for the connection purpose we use aluminum layers. Components are isolated by air in the discrete components. In discrete components one component is separated with another component by the air only separate the components. But in ICs integrated circuits components are isolated from each other by isolation diffusion. Components are isolated from each other by isolation diffusion. Here using diffusion process, isolation diffusion process, we separate the different components, resistors, capacitors, transistor, like that we separate the different components. Here components are isolated from each other by isolation diffusion. Next, in discrete components are heavy in weight. If you take any PCB, if you take any circuit, same circuit established on PCB and IC, then the PCB weight is very high then compared to IC. So PCBs are very heavy weight compared to IC. IC is lighter in weight. These discrete components occupies larger space, but ICs occupies less space. Compared to ICs, discrete components occupies very larger space. Discrete components consume more power compared to ICs. Discrete components consume more power. ICs consume less power, low power. Because of less space, very small circuit, very small components. That's why it's use very small power. Less reliable. Discrete components are less reliable due to more number of giants. Less reliable due to more number of giants. But ICs are high degree of reliability. ICs have high degree of reliability. Next go to discrete components. Reliability means if you any is a accuracy value, it gives very accurate value. ICs are very gives accurate value compared to discrete components. In discrete components can be removed or replaced if necessary. If any printed circuit board or PCBs, if any component like resistor or inductor is damaged, then we take that, we remove the element and replace the another new element. But in ICs we can't remove any component from the IC because of it is a integrated and very small, very small components. That's why we can't remove the component and we are not replace the component. Next, in discrete assembly, components are projected at random. Components are projected at random. Components are projected from the surface of the chip. Here, components are projected randomly in discrete components, but in ICs, components are projected from the surface of the chip. Discrete components are high cost compared to ICs. If you take any circuit using discrete components, its cost is very high compared to integrated circuit. High power circuits can be produced. In discrete assembly, we get high power circuits, but we use IC. It is not possible to produce high power in ICs. It is not possible to produce high power ICs that is greater than 10 watts. Next, to go for advantages of ICs. What are the advantages of ICs? What are the advantages of ICs? The advantages of ICs is small in size, less weight. So ICs are very small in size compared to different discrete components, and less weight, very less weight, low cost. If the ICs are manufactured in bulk, so the cost of the ICs are very low, and it consumes very less power compared to other discrete components. Low supply voltages and low power consumption. Low supply voltages and low power consumption. High reliable, very high reliable. If you take an IC, it give an accurate value, and also its output and its values are not varying with the temperature and different temperature. That's why it's more reliable and give very accurate results. Next, it occupies very less area, very less compared to discrete assembly. It occupies very less area. Easy replacement. If you take any, if an IC is damaged, then it's remove and replace with an new one. So very easy to replace an IC is very. But go to components, there is a soldering is required. So it's some more difficult compared to an IC replacement. Next, low power consumption. Next, go for the disadvantages of ICs. The inductors and transformers cannot be fabricated. In IC. In IC, all the components, resistors, capacitors, transistors, FETs, fabricated in an IC, but the inductor and transformer. One of the application is in the inductor and transformer. These two components are not fabricated in the IC. There is not possible to fabricated an IC. It is not possible to produce high power ICs. So one another disadvantage is it is not possible to produce high power ICs. If any component of the IC goes out of order, the whole IC has to be replaced by new one. In an IC, if any component is damaged, then the whole IC is replaced by new one. But the component is not which component is damaged, the component is not replaced because the IC is very very small and fabricated all components in one wafer. That's why we replaced with the new one only. High frequency response is limited. So for the high frequency response, we are not used the IC. High frequency response, we use the discrete components. Next, we are discussing about linear ICs. What is mean by linear? If the time varying, the signal amplitude also varying, linearity. So in linear ICs are also referred to as analog ICs because their input and outputs are of analog type. So what is my analog? The time is varying, the amplitude of the signal also varying. In this manner, the analog ICs have input also analog and outputs are also analog. That is called linear IC or analog IC. As compared to digital ICs, linear ICs or analog ICs are used much less. So digital IC is more useful than analog ICs. It is commercially available as operational amplifiers, voltage multipliers, voltage comparators, regulators, microwave amplifiers, etc. So if you take operational amplifier IC741, this is an analog IC. In this we use analog IC IC741. There is a lot of applications, some like amplifier, inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier. So example of linear ICs are op amp, timer ICs also, like 555 timer, PLC circuit, 556 PLL loop is also an analog ICs. In TVs we use 3065, 3068 These are all analog ICs. Next, audio TC TBA 810. This is another example of analog ICs. Next, we go for digital ICs. In digital ICs, the input and output voltages are of two possible levels, that is either low or high. In digital ICs, the input and output voltages are of two possible levels, that is either low or high. Low value is represented with the 0, high value is represented with the 1. In inverting mode, low value 1, high value 0. So only two voltages, either 0 voltage, 0 or 1 signal, either low voltage or high voltage. Digital ICs are widely used compared to analog ICs. It's commercially available as microprocessor, memory chips, logic gates, flip-flops, counters, registers. If we take a microprocessor, it is an digital IC, or any memory chip, it is an digital IC. Logic gates, flip-flops also, D flip-flop, T flip-flop, SR flip-flop, these are all in digital in nature. Next, up counter, down counter, Johnson counter, ring counter, these are all also analog ICs. Next, registers, shift registers, these are also on digital ICs. Examples of digital ICs are logic gates 7400, 74002 is an examples. Flip-flops 7476. Next, counters. Next, 7490, 7492, these are called memory chips. Registers, these are, and also these are called also digital ICs. Next, microprocessor like 8085, 8086, 80386 and 80486 are also called digital ICs. It consists of more number of transistors as compared to linear ICs. So in linear ICs there is a less number of transistor compared to digital ICs. In digital ICs there is a more components fabricated in digital ICs. It's used in microprocessor, computers, clocks, digital watches, calculators. Digital ICs are used in microprocessors, computers, clocks, digital watches and calculators. Next, we are discuss about different IC packages. Different IC package. There is a different ICs. If I take an IC, the IC package is very important. The package is provides the strength to the IC, and also it provides protection. It provides protection for the IC. That's why we package the IC in different manner. There is different IC packages: flat package, flat top package, TO package, or metal can package. That is called TO, means transistor outline package, and this is also called metal can package. Next one, DIP, dual in line package. Most of the ICs are dual in line package only. Now most of the ICs have dual in line package only. If example we take any logic gates, AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, these are all dual in line package mode. So these are different kinds of IC packages. So once again, what are the different types of IC package? Flat top package, TO package, or metal can package. Next one, dual in line package or DIP package. Next let we see levels of integration. There is a different ICs. The ICs are depending on components. There are different types of ICs. The integration levels is different levels. There is a first one, small scale integration. In this case, the number of circuits contained is less than 12 equivalent gate circuits in the same chip. So in this case, the number of gate circuits is less than 12 only. Examples: logic gates and flip flops, AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, and flip flops. Flip flops. Flip flops. Flip flops are logic gates and flip-flops are example for small scale integration. Next we discuss about medium scale integration, MSI, medium scale integration. In this case, the number of circuits contained is in between 12 to 100 equivalent gate circuits. So here the components, the circuits are 12 to 100 equivalent gate circuits. Here number of gates is 12 to 100. Then this is called medium scale integration, MSI. Examples are adder, subtractor and counters. Full adder, half adder, these are examples of medium scale integration. And subtractors, half subtractor, full subtractor is also an example for medium scale integration. And counters like ring counter, Johnson counter, up counter, down counter, these are all example for medium scale integration. Next, large scale integration. In this case, the number of circuits contained is in between 100 to 1000 equivalent gate circuits. In this case, 10 to 1000 circuits is there for large scale integration. For large scale integration, 10 to 1000 circuits is there. For examples for large scale integration is ROM and RAM. ROM means read only memory and RAM means random access memory. ROM and RAM, read only memory, random access memory, is example for the large scale integration. And very large scale integration. In this case, the number of circuits contained is more than 1000 equivalent gate circuits. So here the circuits are more than 1000. Example for very large scale integration: microprocessors and microcontrollers. These are the example for very large scale integration, like 8085 microprocessor. 8085 microprocessor is an example for large scale integration. 8051 microcontroller also example for very large scale integration. Next, we are discussing about surface mount technology. So this is also called SMT technology. What is mean by surface mount technology? In surface mount technology, the components are fabricated on surface of the board. That's why it's called surface mount technology. PCB design has two main methods for mounting components of PCB. If you take on any PCB, there is two methods. In two methods, we mounting the components on PCB. That is through hole mounting and surface mounting. In through hole mounting technology, we drill the holes and then we connect the components. In surface mount, there is no drills are needed. So in surface mount technology, SMT is the process by which components are mounted or placed directly onto the surface of printed circuit boards, PCBs. Here PCB means printed circuit boards, an electronic device. So made is called surface mount device. Here the components are mounted directly on surface of the PCBs. So if you take any component, it appears on the surface of the printed circuit board. So the device is called SMDs, surface mount device. Which devices are mounted on the surface of the printed circuit board, those devices called surface mount devices. SMD is a latest version and makes reliable interconnection. This is the latest version. In the older versions we use throw-hole technology. That is, the PCB is drilled by the driller, then after drilling we connect the different wires and different components with the soldering gun. This is very time consuming process and also not reliable so much. That's why we go for surface mount technology. SMT is a latest version and makes reliable interconnection. Surface mount technology is a latest version and makes reliable interconnection. Surface mount technology is one of the advanced achievements in the area of semiconductor technology. This technology improves the product in terms of function, size and quality. So it is the biggest advancement in the SMD in semiconductor technology. This technology improves the product in terms of functioning is very fast, size also very less and quality is more in SMT, surface mount technology. In this technology, both the components as well as conductive paths are installed on the same side of PCB. So components and conducting paths, that is conducting wires, are installed installed the same side of the PCB. Whereas in conventional mounting technology, the components are mounted on one side and conductive paths are on the other side of PCB. So here components are one side fabricated and the paths are another side fabricated. But in surface mount, both paths and components are mounted on one side only. That's why it take less space, and other side also we use. If any circuit we want to fabricate it, then another side we mount those circuit. In surface mounted technology, the ICs are mounted on one side of the PCB. The key differences between SMT and throw-hole mounting are: SMT does not require holes to be drilled through the PCB. So surface mount technology, in surface mount technology, there is no need of drilling the holes. In SMT, components are much smaller. Very very small in size. The component size is very very small. SMT components can be mounted on both sides of the board. So here we discuss that both sides we design the circuits using SMT technology. The ability to fit a high number of small components on a PCB has allowed for much denser, higher performing and smaller PCB. So in this way the density of the components in the SMT technology is more compared to normal hole technology. So in this the components are more compared to hole technology. Next we are discussing about merits of SMT technology. Devices can be mounted on both sides of PCB. So the package density is more. Here we both sides we fabricated the devices, that's why the package density is more compared to through hole technology. Multi-layer circuit boards designs becomes easy. Multi-layer circuit boards design becomes easy. Next, here component size is small, 1/4 to 1/10 when compared to PTH. When compared to PTH, is low manufacturing cost compared to through hole technology, which is the only half to quarter when compared to PTH, through hole technology, printed circuit board through hole technology. Next, reduced board size and reduced weight. Reduced weight. Next, reduced manpower requirements and wage bills. Wage bills. And also less storage space required, increased board density. Here board density is more compared to through hole technology. Through hole technology. So in this way we use SMT technology. It is latest technology in fabricating semiconductor devices and semiconductor circuits. So here till now we discussed about what is mean by an IC, what is mean by IC, integrate what is mean by IC. An IC is a component in that all the passive and active components are fabricated in only one silicon wafer, only on single chip, that is called an IC. So in the different kinds of ICs, that is small scale integration IC, large scale integration, medium scale integration, and very large scale integration, ultra large scale. And also we discuss about different IC packages: metal can package, metal can package, dual in line package, flat tap package. These are all we discussed. And also what is linear IC, what is digital IC. Some of the examples for digital ICs and linear IC. And also we discuss about what is the difference between discrete component and integrated circuit, discrete component technology and integrated circuit technology. We compare both the terms. So thank you all.